The dad software is currently malfunctioning, and I don't know what else to say about it. But the dad software is currently losing. Um, what can I say? I don't know. Look what Adam got me. Oh my God, you guys. You remember when I used to vape? You guys, it's so nostalgic. It's so nostalgic, you guys. It's like such a like old school jam for me, like vaping. It's like so fun. It's like so nostalgic, like 2023 for me. It's like so nostalgic. Like, oh my God, it's like 2023 all over again. You guys. The dad programming is currently going AWOL due to a conversation overheard last night. It's literally making the dad protocol go literally batshit crazy. Probably on both sides. Probably literally on both sides because is there somebody in that group that probably sees his point? Probably. And you know, I mean, if you can't relate to your New World Order leader, then why are you even here? Clearly, she's not the real deal since she's stuck in the house all day. Oh my God, I just got the biggest chills. Like, I just got huge chills, guys. I do want to tell you guys how it works. I'm a little tired. I woke up at 8. That's a little early for me. I went to bed late, like around 1 or 2. So you can do the math. It's like not like the longest sleep cycle. So I'm a little bit tired. Couldn't fall back asleep after 8 a.m. Sort of just laid there and like listened in and then like lost my shit. And, I mean, who am I? I'm definitely not the New World Order leader. Um, dun, 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 dun. They're like, let's see that waist. Your arms are looking a little big. Did we switch timelines? We want to see Alyssa's waist. We want to see Alyssa's waistline. Completely illegal question. That's why I'm laughing. It's completely illegal to say that to me. When I look at my 3D stuff, okay, in the house, in like boxes, I have like complete anxiety. I have a complete panic attack when I look at my 3D stuff in the house. Complete panic attack, complete meltdown occurs. Okay. And it did start with that. And it started with that like maybe like 3, 4, 5 months ago. So as we go on and on, more and more my 3D stuff is like giving me like super anxiety. It's like currently kind of warm in my room. Kind of want to put my hair up, but my hair looks so nice and Blake Lively-ish down, and I don't want to ruin the moment. And I think I just did, but whatever. It doesn't look as cool and as Blake Lively-ish anymore. And she's like, I hate my hair. It's currently a rat's nest. So is mine. Um, you know, there's anxiety in the room. Her face looks a little thin, but her arms look a little chubby. I think we switched dimensions with Alyssa. I think this is a different dimensional Alyssa. Oh, really? Who are you learning that from? Are you learning that from actually me, the one that you're actually staring at and commenting on? That should be in her castle right now, or at least being held by Colin Farrell in his house. In her little Korean room with her little dim sum for breakfast. We obviously heard you. That's like a breakfast for Alyssa, okay? And it's kind of inappropriate for like your new best friend to like put it in front of your face, but maybe she was just giving you a suggestion or giving your dad a suggestion as to what do you want to eat in the morning. Being that you're half Chinese and he's not Chinese, he's Irish. And isn't that a nice thing to do? And now the Chinese are crying because it's so nice. So nice to give the Chinese credit, even though she's blonde hair and blue eyes. But we already talked about how that happened, and now she's going to go full, she wants to go full albino to prove her point. Um, yeah, I have anxiety. I'm a little tired. Um, I think I only remember one dream from last night, but it was a full like dream. It wasn't like just the end, the like tail end of something at the very end. So at least it was like more of a full dream. And I was like attacked. I was definitely like attacked when I was falling asleep last night. And I said, Alyssa is God. And then I said, Jesus is the Platonic God and leave me alone. So I was, like doing affirmations to clear the space so that I could fall asleep because I was definitely being visually attacked. And it definitely worked. And then it went into my dream space as well. So that was cool. So Jesus is the Platonic God seems to be working. I did preface it with Alyssa is God. So, do with that, you know, what you will. But it does seem to be clearing and helping to work. So, and she's allowed to do whatever she wants, apparently, include ignore orders, include starvation, include torture. I mean, it's crazy. This world is crazy. I'm starting to feel sick, a little bit sick. Um, well, what do you know? Table for one, dear. Table for one. Is it going to be a table for one or a table for two tonight? Table for one, a table for one, or a table for two? A table for one. Is it going to be a table for one tonight or a table for two? How many people are in the room tonight? One or two? Table for one or a table for two? Is she just going to sit on your lap? Table for one? Table for one? I'm going to scream if we can't go backwards and fill my space in. Oh, really? That's what you're focused on? You want to fill in my space with organic energy? You want to fill in my space? What a weird concept to say. What was that, 2004? 2004, 2005? The TikTokers are like, what the hell's MySpace? What the hell is MySpace? MySpace sounds cool. You got to program your entire wall to like have like codes of like color, and then it would like glitch the entire screen and it wouldn't work. That sounds cool. And you used to have music pumping through your page. That just sounds awesome. Glitterama. Glitter fairies everywhere. Here's my 8 top friends. That sounds awesome. I wish I was alive then. Oh my God, you guys don't know what MySpace is? It was when we had flip phones and these little tiny Nokia phones. And phones were really cheap, so you could throw them against the wall if you got angry at your boyfriend and break your phone, then you just go get a new phone. But now you can't really do that because they give you a computer for the phone, so you can't really throw it anymore. I mean, if you're rich, if you're rich, you can throw your phone, but I'm not rich. I'm poor, so I can't throw my phone. It's all cased up. Alyssa, take a sabbatical. There's nothing to say anymore. Where am I? What am I supposed to do all day, guys? There's nothing to do all day except sit here and wait for Colin Farrell. There's so much to say. You guys are showing off literally so much, and you're like making so much fun of yourselves. It's insanity. And you're like, I'm a Plutonian. First of all, I'm a Plutonian alien. Let's just start there. I'm influential above, and as above, so below. So I might become influential below. I might just become influential below, and now I'm not opposed to it because I kind of got a point to make, and y'all making my point really unnecessarily hard to make. Okay, y'all are just really going for it, and I'm influential, so I might be influential below. I'm clearly influential above because I got a stupid brunette human woman being like, first of all, I'm a Plutonian alien. Let's start there. Okay, let me just claim it. Let me just own it. Okay, I'm just. Okay, I wanted to draw it for you guys because I literally hate you. And, well, then please do it, Melina. Okay, because I can't take it anymore, and either can my siblings. Okay, I'm gonna try to draw what you guys are calling, like you guys that are calling yourselves Plutonian aliens, what you look like, okay? Okay. All right. This is not viewable for younger viewers, okay? But this is your Plutonian alien. This is what you guys, okay, the people, the human beings that are calling themselves Plutonian aliens, and you're not. But this is what you actually look like, okay? I'm not joking. I've seen you guys, okay? You combine together into organic ooze, and you each have one boob now, okay? Take a look at it. This is your organic energy, sort of like congealing, around you, okay, that used to be separate you, and now you're all together, and now you're conjoined triplets with each one boob, okay? That's what you look like, okay? You're not even, this is not even a human anymore, really. Like, I don't know what this is, but it's not really a human, and this is not a Plutonian alien, okay? You're looking at a Plutonian alien, okay? I am a Plutonian alien. You are a human that is losing energy, and in order to continue devolving in the system, this is what you do because you're devolving. You're not evolving. You're devolving, and this is what you're devolving into. Okay, and you're not a Plutonian alien. You used to be a human, and now you're this. Whatever this is. Okay, it's something that's going to give people nightmares. You are what is going to give people nightmares now. I am a Plutonian alien. You are a human that is losing energy, dimensions, and space, and is devolving and devolving in the levels and descending in the levels. You're descending in space and time from level 3, 3D to 1D. Okay, and this is what you're currently looking like. Organic one boob ooze triplets. Congratulations, it's triplets, and this is how they'll come out now. Okay, and I'm not trying to make fun of conjoined twins or anything like that. I'm just saying that I guess that's evidence of what I'm talking about, and I'm not trying to say that to be offensive, okay? I'm really not trying to say that to be offensive at all, because it's not really their fault, okay? It's sort of, we're talking out loud about this, and we're talking out loud about this, and you're calling yourself a Plutonian alien, and I want you to be honest with yourself. I'm an alien. You are a human that is devolving and descending in time space continuum. This is what you guys look like to us aliens. That we look like this, and we look like probably more beautiful when you look at us through the veil and whatever. But okay, so I think that makes sense, right? I think that makes sense, right? Why that would be offensive to conjoined twins. Are you not listening at all? Okay. I am a God trying to teach you human mortals how to evolve. And if you're offended by science and how science works, then you are surely devolving. Okay, what are you offended by? This is a science class that I'm teaching you. I'm teaching you how to evolve, and you're choosing to devolve. And it's very disturbing, okay? And it's not really, their fault or whatever. And, um, um, it can be completely redone with organic energy and the proper Palladian surgery, if you know what I mean. And or I'm just saying it's devolution, okay? It's devolution. Sometimes, and I just do three because what am I? Sometimes it's like 8, 9, 10 of you all together. Okay, I just drew three because What am I going to do? Draw 10? Okay, you stick together. You know how you say like, oh, we got to stick together. Okay, that's literally what you mean because you're devolving. This happens when you leer at me and Colin's. So if Colin walks in or Brandon walks in, when Brandon walks in or Colin walks in, and we're just together, something like we'll just be literally staring at each other. Okay, and when we're staring at each other, it causes humans that are choosing to devolve to leer at us. And so they start leering and they start moving like this, and then they start coming together and congealing together. Okay, because y'all are losing energy, and it's going back into space to be refurbished, because y'all are choosing to devolve, and it's not good for the planet to devolve. Okay, it's good for the planet to evolve, not devolve. And we're trying to help you guys, and you're just like, I'm a Plutonian alien. No, you're not. I am a Plutonian alien that is also named God, but I am a Plutonian alien. So is Brandon, okay? So Brandon walks in, y'all start leering, all right? I'm telling you that you guys already know that's illegal. Okay, so if it's illegal, you're going to lose energy because of it. And you're going to devolve. Pluto is forming in the sky. It's called the eighth sphere right now, and it's literally green ooze in the sky that is completely visible. I took a picture of it and posted it on Facebook. It is completely visible when it's out, when the eighth sphere is out, and it looks like green ooze in the sky. So last night it was like bright yellow. Like the whole sky was like literally bright yellow. But y'all want to argue with me and act like, oh, what do you mean humans, babies, da 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 da, marital status, milestone this, milestone that. And the sky is literally neon yellow at 3 in the morning for no reason whatsoever. We're watching a supernatural event occur right in front of our face, and y'all want to ignore it by posting your milestones on TikTok and continue to devolve, and it's making Pluto form literally right in front of our face. And it's amazing to us space aliens when we're watching it. We're like, holy shit, I think that's actually Pluto forming. It's actually Pluto forming. I know Pluto is like in our inorganic sky, in our fake false matrix. And I already told you the planets, they're all kind of an illusion right now because they're all non-livable, and they're actually all livable and everything like that. I said, so it's sort of like a fake Pluto, sort of like a placeholder for like planets and for like people to like imagine the future and stuff like that, and to like be inspired and like actually listen to the queen, me, and be encouraged to evolve, because you can space travel to other planets, and it's a lot more fun than just going to Paris every year. Okay, so that's sort of like an inorganic version of Pluto, of the planet, and we're watching the real organic Pluto form right in front of our face. That's what we think it is. Sometimes I'm always open to be wrong, but that's what me and my siblings were like. I think that's Pluto literally forming right in front of us. I had somebody come over from the 70s yesterday. Okay, she decided to show up at my door, and she was a brown dwarf. She was a brown dwarf. Okay, so that's how small the 70s are right now, and how currently how much power and supply they have. So they've lost a lot of energy because they were sort of the beginning of the Plutonian phase. It probably goes backwards to like um Edwardian royal marriage. I think it was in England. Um when they invited the flower girl to join, the first time they invited the flower girl to join the wedding ceremony. And I think so it goes back all the way to then, if you want to talk about a time or whatever. And um, time in like a Western civilized time or whatever, because we're supposed to be more advanced in ancient Egypt and not go back there literally every single year. Um, because we've already done that. And so now, like, that was a part of evolution. Ancient Egypt was like a part of evolution, and now like you see keep going back there, and now it's a part of devolution, because you already reached the point with ancient Egypt. You reached the point with ancient Egypt, okay, and then you kept going, so now it's a part of devolution, because you're supposed to evolve after that, not keep going back there. Okay, so that's pretty easy to understand, but I feel like there's comments in the section or whatever, like, I want to see her waistline. No, you don't. You want to do this, is what you want to do, Becky. I can't wait till Colin Farrell walks in. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. I'm so excited for that matrimony. We know, Becky. We know. I thought it was on their side. I hope he does. I hope he does, y'all. Are y'all excited to do this every single fucking year and deal with being stressed and anxiety out because, we're the cheese and they're calling us the lazy mutants that think they're in charge? And it's like, no, actually, the source is actually in charge. So there's no debating that. Okay, so, but like for some reasons, human thinks they can debate that and become extra hostile. Extra hostile. I want some extra hostile with my cheeseburger, please. Can I please have some extra hostile on my cheeseburger? He did his taxes. He was still attacked. Okay? We're outnumbered. I can't win. I can't get a break. Y'all are starting to eat yourselves online. Okay? As well as be extra hostile. I'm saying the reason they want to be around us so bad is because we're the cheese. And they don't want to respect us and worship us. And you know what I mean? Which will actually get them cheese naturally. They're like, no, we will not respect you at any cost. You are lazy mutants. Okay. You are lazy mutants that think you own the place. Okay. And they said, I can't get a job anymore because I'm speaking out loud. And then Last of Us hired me last night. Okay. And they actually had to debate whether to hire me as a I think I was just gonna paint the I don't think I was gonna actually sculpt. Just paint they have like a bunch of little sculptures of the demons, the zombies they call demons in the video game, in the TV show or whatever. And they're like, we'll hire her to. They're like, how much fun would it be to paint those? And I was like, that would be so much fun to paint those. And they were like, we'll hire her in the sculpting department. And I don't know if I think maybe they talked about it overnight and they're like, she doesn't have to sculpt because she's never sculpted before. She'll just paint them. Okay. That'll just be her job. Just paint the demons. Okay. And I was like, that'd be so fun. And they literally had to argue about it. Okay. They literally argued about it if I was like qualified for the job or not. And I literally like described the entire process. And the guy was like, ah, she's not qualified. And the other guy's like, she literally just described the entire process. Like, what is the problem here? You know what I mean? He's like, she left out a few key factors. Like, what do you mean she left out a key factors? She was going over it line by line because we have sculpting or whatever, in toys. Like, okay, so yeah, so I guess I got hired at Last of Us 2 as a painter for sculpting or whatever. I had like a right hand man that, you know what I mean? They hire freelancers like if they can't finish the job and whatever. Like she just does the painting or whatever. She's interning as a sculptor. Okay, so we're gonna help teach her how to sculpt, but like this is her first time sculpting like that. Okay, okay, that's more my department than acting and my daddy's department and stuff like that. I'm more like that. Like I'm just gonna let me here's my paintbrush. Okay, so You know what I mean? They're very beautiful. They're very beautiful to us. The zombies, the zombie sculptures. They had it in a making of Last of Us 2 that I watched last night, which was pretty good actually. Um, I thoroughly enjoyed it actually. Okay, I wasn't bored at all, but I was surprised and confused as to why they were interviewing me for a sculpting slash painting position. Um, over there's plenty of people that they hire with no experience that sort of get grandfathered into places. Okay, that's pretty normal as well, you know what I mean? So it's really not that big of a deal, and people seem to make those types of things kind of a big deal, and they're like, look what it's doing to us, Lilith, it's putting us in the simulation. Well, you know what I mean? Okay, then is it real, guys, if it's putting you in the simulation? So how is that an argument? Stop asking us to have compassion for you when the shit is real. If it puts you in the simulation, then there's something we got to clear out of you. It's called a parasite. Okay, so yeah, I thought it was really good, but I was like, why am I being interviewed right now for a job? And I looked at my dad, Colin, next to me, and I was like, I've got to work again? Okay, and they're like, well, we just got to hire you, let's just in case, all right? You know what I mean? You never know. So, okay, thank you very much, Last of Us 2. They were beautiful. Okay, they were beautiful. I would be honored to be a part of that sculpting and painting team. Okay, and be a sculpting intern while I'm painting my butt off and learning how to sculpt. Okay, I would absolutely love it. I'm sure I'd be a great sculptor. I'm gonna, think highly of myself and not feel like I'm overwhelmed looking at the 3D Max. Okay, program. Um, I'm sure I would do amazing. Okay, I'm sure I would do great. Okay, it's called interning for a reason. It's already making me have anxiety thinking about it. Okay. I think they do have painters, don't they? They have painters that just do the painting because they just got to stress me out, man. I'm telling you. Yes, I would be honored to paint those zombies. I really would be. We love that kind of stuff, okay? Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to be getting an internship, but I don't know. They had to prove a point or something that they're all in on it, okay? Even Last of Us. What do you know? Last of Us is in on it? That's weird. That's crazy. Girl, you crazy. Okay, so there was the one guy. He was I don't know what his job like. I don't know what his job title was, but he was like there to make me like voice director or something. I don't know, like one of the directors. So he was there like the people on the microphone, the clickers that were recording the clicker sounds, the voice actors that were clickers, and they were in the studio recording the voice sound. And then he's sitting at like this, fold out table with like a couple of waters listening to the clickers. He's like, that was great. That was great. Next time, he's like, look at how glamorous I am. Does Alyssa know what she's talking about or what? He's working in TV at a folding table with some waters, and he's like, yeah, it's so glamorous. It's so glamorous. Whitney Cummings is complaining about her burnt grilled cheese, and we're at folding table. I don't. I was looking at The Office and I was like, oh, that looks like a nice, because they show The Last of Us office too, and I was like, oh, that looks like a nice office to work at. I can't think like that. So anyway, y'all are calling yourselves Plutonian aliens. Please don't, because you're not. Okay, you're a leerer. If you want to call yourself something, say I leer. I leer at the gods having sex. Okay, let me just start there. Why don't you just like be honest about it? And if you want to own something, actually own what you are. Okay, you're not an alien at all. You're a human that is leering at gods having sex. Okay, so you are a leerer. I'm a leerer. Let's just start there. Okay, I'm one boob. Let's just start there. Okay, yes, I think you all are going to start saying you're one boob as a badge of honor, but clearly, you know how to get there. Clearly, you know how to get there by now. So let's just be honest about it. I got there by staring at Alyssa Brandon Collin. That's how I got my job. That's how I got my position in life. Chief Learer. Okay, so you guys should go watch it. There's a lot of great telepathy in that making of Last of Us 2, that they talk about how real it is and everything and how terrifying it is. And they added a baby, or not a baby, but like a small child clicker in it, and they featured her in the making of. And I thought that was great because when I was playing Last of Us, I was like, that's weird that there's no children. I thought about that. I was like, that's weird. There's no children. There's a one boy that starts to change, in Last of Us 1, and then his brother shoots him right away, so it doesn't change or whatever. So there's definitely, and just like doing the math, of course, there's like children clickers or whatever. There's probably baby clickers as well, which is kind of sad. But they don't show any of that, and they did put her in Last of Us 2, and I was happy about that because she's an integral part of the story. Children are an integral part of the story as to how we get to Last of Us, and y'all keep seeming to ignore that part. And you know, um, it's very uneventful. You know what I mean? That's what they just said. It's uneventful to us, so I just went with it. I need to monetize my channel. Okay, so because it's not funny to him at all, right? It's not funny to my boyfriend in sculpting who has to teach me sculpting, watching me sweat, trying to learn a new skill at 45. That's not funny at all. To work husband. No. We have a bad sense of humor. We have a really sick bad sense of humor, okay? Clearly this is insane. What are we talking about here? Like there's poltergeist number 1, okay? Yeah, so my dream was quite eventful actually. I was making some food and like I almost forgot to turn it off when I was cooking it. And I was like in the house, like doing stuff or whatever. And then like my friend picked me up and then took me to an event where I met Tim. Okay, so I was like, it was like a friend that drove me to an event where Tim was, a date with Tim. And then I was with Tim and I think he wouldn't kiss me. I believe he wouldn't kiss me. And and I remember thinking, like, why isn't he buying me food? He also wouldn't buy me food. Like, we went to a restaurant, and like, he wouldn't buy me any food. And I'm like, why aren't you buying me food? Aren't we here on a date? And like, he's just like there to sit in the chairs and like talk to me and like not buy me food. And I was like, this is weird. And I think I've actually had dates like that. If I remember correctly, I've actually had dates like that where I go to like, let's go to Starbucks or something. They don't even like buy me a coffee or anything like that. And it's just like, what kind of date is this? Like, where you just want to sit in the chair and talk to me? This is so weird. That's when like dating sort of became like therapy sessions or whatever I want to say, like, or just like really weird friend conversations where it's just like, okay, like, why are we even here then? Like, it's just weird dating. Okay. And, I want to say that what happened during that whole time where everything just got super weird, very weird dating. Right. And, that's obviously during this time, right? We're just here for this, okay? We're just here for this, Miss God. That's all we care about, Miss God, okay, is this. All right? You ain't getting no food. We're just here for this, Miss God, okay? Very kind. Very kind to God. Very, very kind to the princess. Very nice to the princess, okay? Um, but yeah, so it was sort of like a date like that in the dream with Tim. And then Tim popped, and then Tim became my friend Andrew, who drove me to the event. So that was very interesting. He popped, and then he was like talking about he was like, so what was going on with that conversation? And I guess it was like a very heated conversation. It was a very narcissistic conversation between two individuals, and we couldn't believe the argument from the one narcissist individual. And we were just like, wow, this is insane. It was like very like aggressive and very selfish and very self-centered and very one-sided and very pavement meets the wall type of feeling. And it made everybody rumbly in their tumbly. It made everybody's tum-tum go crazy, and it made everybody super anxiety ridden, that conversation. And it was like really awful, right? On both sides. It was just like like really rubber meets the road. Like, we're about to pop, it's done. Like, it's about to be quantum matrix, it's about to be contact, it's about to be, the space vehicle Merkaba is about to come and like meet us where we're standing, and it's a wrap. It's about to be a wrap. The star people are about to walk in because of this one conversation, because it was that bad. It was that bad, and it gave us that much anxiety. Like, you are definitely in on it because you're arguing with Grant Morrison. Okay, you're arguing with Grant Morrison about it. You're going to battle. You're going to Mortal Kombat with Grant Morrison, so you're definitely in on it. You definitely know what you're dealing with, who you're talking to, and who you are dealing with, and that should be enough. Okay, because you know exactly who the players are, so you know this shit's real as fuck. Okay, and you're bringing these ludicrous arguments to the table and expecting us to be reasonable and meet these completely ludicrous arguments, and giving us all autism at the same time, and probably Tourette's, okay? Because I think Tourette's is the next on the scale, and I'm not saying that to be offensive again either, okay? But I'm just saying, like, I think it's a sort of like a mental health progression. And so so yeah, so I think that that you know what I mean. If you're going against Grant Morrison, you already know what you're doing. You already know what you're doing if you're going against, like, who the hell do you how do you know who Grant Morrison is? Random person of the third world order that lives in Kentucky, Texas, okay? And you just have like a normal life with a normal wife and a white picket fence. How the hell do you know who the fuck Grant Morrison is? You never read a comic book in your life. You're clearly listening over walls. Okay, you never went to a comic book convention in your entire life. How would you know who a comic book superstar is? Mm-mm. There's no way you would know who the fuck Grant Morrison is. He's not like a mainstream celebrity like Ryan Reynolds. Okay, Grant Morrison is very obscure. Okay, Unless you're listening over walls or watching my videos personally, or you're a comic book fan, you don't know about a comic book legend named Grant Morrison. So that right there is your problem. It's not like a SNL like superpower like Amy Poehler. It's an obscure um, legend. Okay, that only super fans know about. Okay, you know what I mean. It's going to get more obscure from here on out because how you listen over walls and hearing the name Grant Morrison. Okay, so it's just going to get more obscure. It's not going to be like about mainstream celebrities anymore. It's going to be more obscure, little tiny celebrities like from a corner of a Parisian cafe that only like a handful of people know about. How did you know about them? Because you're listening over walls. And you know what I mean? Like, we got to prove our point because you're insane. You're literally insane. You're making us all go insane. Okay? You're about to make the aliens walk in because it's that obvious. Nobody knows who the fuck Grant Morrison is besides me. Okay, unless you're super into comics, you're not going to know who Grant Morrison is. Unless you're super into occultism, you're not going to know who Gigi Young is. Unless you're super into galactic freaking wars, you're not going to know who Alex Mazone is. So didn't that already happen? How do you know who Isabella Green is? Is that why y'all made Isabella Green famous? She used to have 300 views. How you know who Isabella Green is? You don't know who Isabella Green is. She's not famous. How are you guys talking about Isabella Green over walls? How the hell do you know about Krista and Raw? Krista gets like 9 people in her fucking live videos. How do you know who the fuck Krista is? World Wide Web. How the fuck do 8 billion people know who the fuck Krista is? She's not Hayden Christensen. That's a family name, Hayden Christensen. Okay, Keanu Reeves, that's a family name. You know what I mean? That's a household name. People know who the fuck Keanu Reeves is. You don't know who the fuck Krista is unless you're listening over walls. Okay, so did it already get obscure? Did I prove my point? Okay, I heard one of my childhood fucking names. A person that I went to school with. It wasn't Meg, who I always talk about. It was a different person that I went to school with, and I never talked about on here. I heard her name come through the screen through a random friend. How the fuck do you know about that person that I went to school with that I've never even talked about? You're listening over walls. You're in on it. I better not hear you say anything stupid if I move to Sedona. All right. I think I proved my point with that one. So anyway, does she not know that Krista used to be famous? Krista used to be famous to who? Charis. Is it Charis? Who the hell did Krista used to be famous to? People that went to Burning Man? How do y'all people know people that don't even post on YouTube? If y'all don't want to believe me about Krista. Oh, Krista used to be famous back in the day. Nine people. She's famous to nine people now, okay? That nobody knows her in her own chats anymore. So she ain't that famous because nobody knows her in her own chats. She might have been famous to a few thousand people in a tiny bit of time, okay? And that's about it. This is basically the same thing as, I mean, it's really not, though, the same thing as Grant Morrison. Grant Morrison is world renowned comic book legend, okay? But this is still, that's like a hobby. You know what I mean? That's like a hobby, like somebody that's like really famous in a hobby. As sort of like the creator of like Dragon Ball Z. Like who the fuck knows that the Dragon Ball Z's creator's name? I don't, but that's I'm saying like a very small portion of people know that. Super fans, okay. I know about Keanu Reeves and Krista. You know what I mean? Who the hell knows about Doom Patrol? It's like saying like Doom Patrol. It's like saying like with my dad's video, my dad's movies. My dad's movies in Bruges and you know, the other one, the other one with the same guy. They're like worldwide. Those were worldwide movie hits. I don't know, the blockbuster movies. What are you? What planet? On what planet were those blockbusters? This is literally the same thing. Those were not blockbuster movies. It was literally maybe was very popular in the movie industry because nobody knew those movies. I did not know either of those movies before. I was like, let me Google my dad's movies, watch his movies. Okay. All right. So, well, I already forgot what I was saying, but it's recorded and I can watch it back if I, you know what I mean, as long as it doesn't erase. But, you're listening over walls. You know what I mean? Weird woman that said that Chris is famous. You're listening over walls right now, okay? That means it's all real. Just by this the sure fact that I'm talking to viewers that are clearly not in my audience and you're talking to me over walls about it. You're clearly over all our walls about it and telling me that Krista's rich and famous. She definitely looks rich and famous, Miss Krista. Okay. So right? You know what I mean? Put me in the simulation. They're like, okay, there's got to be a code for that, Krista. Okay, so um yeah, I think so I said the dream and the conversation was very anxiety ridden and Andrew couldn't hear it. That's why he was asking the person that he went to the event with what the conversation was because he fell into Mike group because of certain circumstances. I'm also like I'm sort of in Mike's group, but I'm obviously just the queen. So if it escalates to me, it gets really bad. Okay. So if it escalates to me, I didn't hear the conversation either, but obviously I heard it in the dream. I couldn't remember the exact details of it. Um, but I remember hearing it in the dream and being like, what the hell? Like, what the fuck are these types of arguments? Like, literally, we're literally gonna get contact if we keep going in this direction with these types of arguments. It's definitely going to be contact. And I remember thinking that in the dream. And I remember feeling like all of the anxiety from all the people that could hear the conversation. And, when it escalates to me, the actual queen, it's a Kira moment. It's a Kira moment. It's a Kira moment. And it's bad. It's very, very bad. It's very bad. Okay. Okay. And it's also like that Scarlet Witch moment with the that I showed y'all the other day is like that because I'm getting all that energy back from everybody that's fighting me and debating me and trying to prove their points or whatever and trying to discuss the terms of their negotiation and everything as if that this is a negotiation when y'all were told to exit the planet the first time you stepped out of line and y'all never did. Okay, because it's just completely just not okay or whatever, and you're still negotiating to this day, and I'm literally 45 years old. It's like that. It's like that Scarlet Witch moment where I just pull all because all that argument, that's energy. Okay, that's energy in that you're arguing. Speaking as a technology, which I mentioned, so that's technology that I need to suck back from you. Okay, that you negotiate in your terms or whatever. That's a technology. So I'm gonna suck all of that back, and it's gonna be like a big old solar flare in my life, and it's gonna be painful. It's going to be painful. Okay. And I'm not looking forward to it. And that's why we're like, you need to stop, please. You need to stop. This is not a joke. We already did this. We don't have to do this again. I don't know how many times I have to say that. It's really annoying and frustrating. But seriously, I still have people arguing with me that like Chris is as rich and famous as Keanu Reeves. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? She's obscure. She was obscurely famous for a minute. Okay. Because y'all are talking in people terms. Y'all are talking in 3D taxes, 3D lunch, 3D fame, 3D blah, 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 blah. So that's not 3D fame. Okay. Name a famous scientist. Okay. Who is it? Bill Newar, the science guy, whatever his name is. Okay. How could we all know that? Or it's the other guy, which I forget his name all the time. But it's a famous scientist that we know, or it's the guy from, because I'm getting the answers. It's the guy from COVID. Okay, so it's like these famous scientists that we see on TV, and that's like a famous scientist. It's not going to be there's probably scientists that are famous YouTubers, okay, that have hundreds of thousands of followers, but we don't know them. So they're famous. I can't believe I have to describe this. Are you crazy? You're crazy. Okay, my here's my FYP. Y'all, these are people that are calling themselves Plutonian aliens, and you're not a Plutonian alien. You're just a Lyrer, okay? You're just a Lyrer. Okay, here's an example of how to calm mom down, how to hold mom over walls, and then here's an example of how to give mom anxiety and be a Lyrer and devolve into human space. Okay, so here's an example of a good video. Oh shit. Okay, that's a good video. It's very calming. Okay, and now here's a bad video. This is a Lyrer video. Like, what are you acting out this for on TikTok? Why are you gonna post that? Okay, and they get worse. There was a lot of those videos today. There was actual births of videos of women giving birth. Women giving birth. And yes, I called it porn. I was like, get this porn off of my TikTok. Why the fuck are you posting your birthing videos on TikTok? Because you are this. You don't give a fuck about humanity, and you don't give a fuck about tiny house community. Okay, all you care about is the three-letter word sex. That's all you care about. You have a one-track mind, boy or girl or whatever. Why are you posting those videos on TikTok? The joy of life. Give me a break, Becky. Okay, we're aliens. We know what the fuck we're talking about, and you're pissing us off.